Hi, Shep Hyken here. Excited for another look backstage with another all-access pass to the 50-year history of Contemporary Productions with Steve Shankman. Steve, I know you've had some problems at some of these concerts. You've got lots of stories. Give us one of the highlights.
Well, I had a personal problem at one that I never thought would have happened. But back in the mid-'70s, I had a big Cadillac because I'd have to pick a lot of artists up before limousine. So I had one of these Fleetwood Bromes, and I would take it out on the road. I just came back off the road. I forget what act it was. And I had my CB radio in the car, and the show was at the Fox. So I didn't want to park like in the parking lot because I wanted somebody to steal my radio out of the car. And I decided to park right on the side of the building. So I'm inside the building, and all of a sudden Ed Ripp at the time was my production manager, comes over to me. The show was Uriah Heep. And he says, Steve, I think the police want to talk to you outside. Well, there's always two sets of police. You have the city cops, and then you have the ones that work for us, secondary. I said, who? Is it Frank Pierce? He says, no, the police that's on duty. So I go outside, and the police officer says, is this your car? I said, yes, it is, sir. He says, you need to move it. I said, well, I'm doing a show at the Fox, which I shouldn't have said anything. I should have just moved it. He says, but you're on the wrong side of the alley, and the person that owns this property wants your car out of here. I get ready to move the car, and Ed Ripp yells out the door. He says, that cop giving you a hassle? And that was it. The cop says, turn around. He puts the handcuffs on me. Ed Ripp goes back in the building, smart enough to go to my partner and tell him there's a problem. And the next thing I know, I have my hands behind my back, and they bring a car to pick me up. So now I'm in the car realizing that I have the money to pay Uriah Heep in my pocket, like $5 grand cash, right? So I'm in this police car, and then I really realized there's going to be a problem because the police car pulls over and we're at the police station. I didn't like this part at all. The paddy wagon pulled up. They pulled me out of the police car. It's kind of hard to walk around when you got these handcuffs on. And the next thing I know, I'm in the paddy wagon, me, a police officer, and we're on our way to the jail. I don't know what's going to happen. But we get to the jail. They fingerprint me. They don't check the money, but they take my belt and shoes. So I'm sitting in a cell, and I don't know, about 10, 15 minutes later, I hear somebody at the door, and the police officer says, the sergeant at the desk, who are you? He says, I'm Mr. Shankman's driver. I mean, how many drivers can pick up? And he's got the hat on. He's African-American. He's driving a limousine. Meanwhile, I know what happened, which is Irv called Bob Blitz, our attorney. He must have called the chief of police or something to get me out of there so they didn't send me downtown. So as I'm walking out, the police sergeant says, well, I'm sure I'm going to be in a lot of hot water tomorrow. I said, listen, it wasn't your fault. I said, but could you tell me what I was arrested for? And he tears it up. He says, individual peace disturbance. And that was the end. Went back to the show, and now it's just a story.
I love this story. I hope you enjoyed that story. Come back next week for another all-access look into the history of Contemporary Productions.